Honors Physics. Would like to go over a brief overview of our remote day lesson. We're going to be working on an assignment today called How Not to Cook a Turkey, a little mini lab. We're also going to be looking at some work with thermal energy. There's a reading comprehension to work with that. And then I've got some practice problems. And if you guys would just do question number 1 on the practice problems only. So as far as what to do today. So today we are going to be just working on that single practice problem number 1. And then also the reading. You're going to be working on the reading to go with that too. Okay, so jumping into today's lessons, I want to point out that in our formula package, we're going to be looking at a new subtopic, and this is subtopic 3.1 for thermal concepts. Notice this equation right here for specific heat as in the purple box there. We're going to be using that one today. There's a bunch of notes in here that are just supplemental notes that are not required to go through, but these are just to help you out. And just remember, I did add some past the ones we had before. I went ahead and added the heat versus temperature, specific heat, latent heat, and kinetic molecular theory. So we'll be going through these things over the next week and a half or so. So you've got access to just some extra supplemental notes. If you're working through concepts and are getting stuck, it's a good place to go and see if there's something that could help you out. Okay, so last week we'd worked on this power and EPE quiz. So this is an option here to do some corrections. On the next page, I'm going to go ahead, actually in that purple box right there, I'm going to go ahead and just put the answers for the power and EPE quiz. Now, what you want to do is work through and correct those to make sure you can get to the right answer and show me the logic and show me the process to get to the right answers. And when you're finished with that, you want to have that in your journal, upload a picture of it into the corrections link right here. Okay, you'll see those answers soon. All right, now we're going to be doing a journal lab, and so it actually goes along with the video that I have in here. It's a separate video, but you want to go ahead and take notes in your journal. So have your journal ready right now. You want to complete the mini lab in your journal, reflect on your learning process, and be ready to share your reflection with your peers next in-person class. And then when you're finished with that, just go on to question 1 of the thermal energy practice problems, which relates directly to the mini lab that we just did. And then there's also a reading with thermal physics to work on that too. Okay, so moving forward, we have this idea in physics called the 3 laws of thermodynamics. And in our in-person class, we're going to go through those. But I just want to mention the second law right here. Sometimes we call it the law of entropy, but really this is actually referring to this idea that whenever you have an energy transformation, the natural tendency of energy is to go from some higher state of energy to a lower state. That's kind of what is meant by the word entropy. And oftentimes in this change from a higher state to a lower potential state of energy, we release heat in the process. And so heat in many processes is considered to be a useless or like a byproduct that we don't really want. It's just kind of something that's inevitable that happens. And so we're going to look at this idea of what is heat loss, what is heat in general. Okay, so the equation for heat is here, and in the slideshow, or sorry, in the other video for the lab, I actually went through this one here. So just note, here it is. So you're really just going to go through this lab. All the materials are here for you, and everything is explained in this other video right here. So when you're finished with the lab today, you're going to go ahead and answer these 5 questions in your journal, and then be ready to discuss those questions with your partner on our next in-person class. All right, so once you're finished with that, jump into the thermal energy practice problems, do question number 1, finish up the reading comprehension here, and then do the remote attendance form, and then you're done. All right, guys, well, have a great day.